Hello everyone, welcome to City Skylines Natural Disasters. We are looking at some scenarios today. This one is called Tornado Country. If I can say it right, Tornado Country. It is an easy scenario where your main goal is to grow the city and survive disasters. Um, this one was the first one I completed. It is pretty easy. Really all you gotta do is just the hardest part is just growing a massive city because I'll show you here once it loads up. To win this scenario, you need a really large population. Um, Ridiculously large from what I've found. But it is doable, and here we go. Tornadoes and sinkholes plague this vast plain. Get the city back in shape by gaining population and money. You just need to live long, happy lives for you to succeed. So this is where you start. I think this is how I usually have the map when I started it out. Um, was it like that? I don't recall. Anyways, here's what we got to do. All of these conditions need to be met at the same time for us to win the scenario. We need to have a population over 260,000. That is massive. Um, Luckily, we do have a lot of flat space to do it. So, you will be able to do it. It just takes a long time. And with the death waves, it sucks. But you'll do it. It'll just take a while. It's not that difficult, really. It's just time consuming, is all. The next one is 20,000 full lifespans lived in the city. You will get that not that far into this. Like, don't worry about that. And then have more than $1 million in money. Again, once you're kind of really massive, like I think I had like 10 million when I finished it on my own, so that shouldn't be a problem either. The only way to lose this game is if you have less than $30,000. And if you're at that point, you're pretty much screwed anyways, so you don't gotta worry about that. Hello, Chirper. So basically, this is just all it is you're just expanding what they got here. From what I've noticed when I was doing this on my own, basically most of the tornadoes and stuff are right around this area. This is where a lot of the stuff spawns, is right here. So if you kind of plan for that, you will be fine. That you have nothing to worry about. Um, Also, what I've noticed is once you get really massive cities, if you have things like tornado shelters or emergency shelters or what have you, it will slow your game down tremendously. So even though the goal is to get that large population, if I had a tornado, after a certain amount of people, I just said screw it and I let them die. It's because I knew they'd come back eventually. It would set me back, but with just how slow it gets when there is a big city, the bigger you get, the slower the game goes, just to help it kind of run better. And just with how much it slows down anyways when you're evacuating people and having to go back to not evacuating, it just slows to a crawl. So just a couple things to think about as you're working on your town. Do we have any landfill? We do have a landfill way up there, I guess. Add one more down here. But really, this is just it. Like, this is all it is. Like I said, tornadoes will usually spawn right around here. This is where they pop up. Same with sinkholes. They're usually right around this area when you're building your city. So maybe keep this starting area just low density stuff. And then once you start to buy more tiles, have that be the high density. That way, when disaster does strike, it's not a big drop in population. Now, again, maybe I just got lucky the first time I did it, and that's just kind of, you know, that's all that happened here. But from what I noticed, when I did it, that's where they all spawned, was right kind of in this starting tile, really. So I would recommend maybe having your other stuff, your, you know, really big density, like maybe even kind of forget this and start kind of building outwards. But you do need to have a lot of space filled in because the population requirement is just, like I said, ridiculously high. So you just got to consider that. But other than that, I mean, there's really no big surprises or anything like that. It's just building a city, building a really massively populated city. Now, when I did it, I kind of goofed up a bit. Like, I don't know what I did wrong. But it got to be so massive that traffic was just a nightmare. And industry couldn't get resources, commercial couldn't get goods to sell. And look at those circles. Okay, here's our first tornado. But that doesn't matter, what the industry and stuff wants. See, it's kind of in this first, I mean, this one's kind of to the right a bit more, but again, it's really all in this starting area. But really, all you gotta worry about is just keeping your population growing. That's all you gotta do is just grow, grow, grow. If your industry or commercial is goofed up, it's really not that bad. Let's fast forward this a bit. Yeah, see, there it goes right towards town. There it goes. It's a 5.0, so it's not the worst. I think when I got towards the end of my goal, like I was at about 240,000 people, I had a level 10 intensity tornado that took about 17,000 lives. That was a bad setback. That really hurt. But eventually I recovered and I was able to finish it, so we'll have to get a search and rescue disaster response team pretty quick here to kind of search for these buildings. If you click on... We don't have it unlocked yet. Okay, when do we get it? Not for quite a while. So, I mean, you could just leave it abandoned for now. I mean... There goes our police station. Well, we got the money. We'll just build two. What else got destroyed? Fire is okay. Fire's not okay. That was the other one. We'll build a new police station. I'm also going to shut off the school. I kind of want uneducated workers, so I don't got to worry about all of that stuff. I blew up the wrong thing. Crap. I mean, that's just... You don't have to. That's just what I suggest. That's what I did. I just kind of didn't worry about it. What do we need population-wise for that again? What was that? 2,600. Okay, so we're a little ways away. So... Yeah, I mean, early on I've noticed when I did this the first time is that there are kind of some disasters to start. Like there was kind of a few right away. But after that, kind of mellowed out for quite a while. Wasn't until a bit later on when it started to kind of kick up again. But it may differ a little bit for you, but... We'll fill that in. So this will help us grow. We only need about 1,100 more people to grow before we can start planting that. I mean, we could bulldoze those now, but... I mean, there could be survivors stuck. I mean, they're going to be stuck for a really long time, but they could be stuck. We'll build a new power plant too. Another thing I want to peek at real quick. Not that. First off, get those taxes up. 11% is a really good number. They won't complain, but it's pretty high up. See, I don't know why they do that, but they kind of mess around with the budget on some of these scenarios. So maybe take a look at that and see if it's the numbers that you personally want. I mean, you might want them where they are for that. You might want to move them around. Just something that you want to kind of look out for. And like I said, this is pretty much where this starting square is where most of the disasters will begin. I mean, they may meander over a tile or so, but I mean, this is really where you got to worry about is this. And there will be some sinkholes as well to watch out for. Nothing too devastating, but, you know, something just to keep in mind. But really, it's just building a city with a disaster every once in a while. I think if you're in regular mode, the sandbox mode, and you have disaster set on the highest option, like there's way more disasters than that than I think there are in this one. This one's pretty easy. It's a good starting scenario, but like I said, it just takes a long time to get that massive population requirement needed. And that will come, don't even worry about that one. Like that just happens on its own. And I'm sure as you know, excuse me, as you've played this, you will get the $1,000,000. That's not really an issue too. Really, that's all there is to it for this one. So, I mean, I could play this for, I mean, it took me a few days to beat this one just because it needed so many people moving in, but like I said, it was pretty easy, nothing too bad. I mean, if you have any questions or anything, you can always leave a comment. I can take a look and see if I can help out or anything, but it's a pretty easy one. It's a good starting one. And that's about it. So I think we'll end it here. Like I said, it's a pretty basic, simple setup. So I will save this just in case you want me to keep playing it. You know, you can leave a comment or say whatever, but I think other than that, I might just keep on with my main city for my YouTube series. These are all my lot of save games. So I think we'll call it a day. Oops, or not. This is pretty intense. This is a 9. Yeah, so it's maybe a little over a bit, but this is really where I noticed the most disaster. So this is going to probably last a long time. But we have $450,000. We'll survive this. It's going to suck. You may have to rebuild a power plant, or maybe you're going to have to add a new pumping station, I think. I think it's, yep, there it goes. And we did lose power because... Don't know why we lost power. We shouldn't have. I guess we're fine now. I think the tornado's over. Let's build a new pumping station. Get it hooked up. How's power? Power is okay. We'll rebuild those windmills or wind turbines when we can. I see we lost over 700 people and we lost a bunch of buildings. And oh, we did lose roads. You got to rebuild those roads. Don't forget the roads. And to do that, if you haven't done it before, it's basically just the upgrade tool. You just upgrade them. You're upgrading from broken to fixed. That's all it really is. So that does set us back a little bit, because we do need that 2,600 population to unlock the thing to get these buildings back. And see, now we got a massive demand for residential because they all died. So, but see, we have so much cash right now that we're fine. So we'll just start expanding a bit. We'll fix that here. Yeah, I'm just going kind of quick. I'm not really making this look pretty or nice or anything. It's just kind of quick overview. And and once we're able to unlock that, you know, you can rebuild all this stuff. But or you could bulldoze it and build it new. But I mean, like these wind turbines, I mean, they get pricey if you keep blowing them up and bulldozing them and rebuilding them. So this will all come back. Don't worry about it. But let's save this again because that was a pretty major event. And let's pause it this time so we don't get any more surprises. But that's pretty much it. You start with so much money that it's really not going to be an issue if you keep getting tornadoes. Like you will survive this. Um, so that's about it. So as always, I want to thank you for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed, and I do hope I get to see you next time.